What's up guys, thank you so much for watching me on this channel. I'm Arun. Welcome you all in today's video guys. I hope you all are doing well in this lockdown period. There should not be any lockdown on your study, and that is the reason we have decided to record maximum video on this chapter so that you will be able to connect with your study. Okay, so in this video today we are going to start with our third chapter of our first flight book, and the name of the chapter is two stories of flying. It's a very inspirational and very motivational story. Actually, the chapter is divided into two stories, and both the stories are very motivational. Personally, I like these two stories a lot. मुझे बहुत पसंद है ये दोनों ही stories, especially the first story which we are going to discuss today. And I hope the same will be with you people. You are definitely going to like it. So without wasting further more time, चलिए शुरू करते हैं. So as you can see that I have already written the name of the chapter. The first story of this chapter. This chapter is having two story. नाम ही है two stories of life or two stories about flying. उड़ने की कहानियाँ हैं. दो stories हैं. The first story is his first flight. It's a very nice story. As you can see, I have written the name of the character. It's the main character in this story is a seagull, which is a you can see it's a seabird which are nearly found in near the coastal areas, and how that bird who is having so much of fear of flying, in spite of having wings and other things, he did not have that courage to go on into to the fly way. कि उड़ सके इतना courage नहीं उसके अंदर. He saw his brothers and sisters who are merely you can say that younger to him, but they are flying, and he also saw his parents motivating them. उसने देखा कि उसके parents भी बहुत motivate कर रहे हैं उसके brother and sister को. But he decided to do that. Even he tried, but he couldn't. उसने बहुत कोशिश भी की, but नहीं कर पाया वो. So in this story we are going to study, will he be able to fly? क्या वो उड़ सका? Will he be not able to fly? नहीं उड़ पाया. Or he died for starvation because he did not get anything to eat. His parents also motivated in another way. It was a motivation, and there was a situation in the story where the single bird called himself a coward. उसने अपने आप को coward भी बोला, क्योंकि वो उसने when he saw his brother and sister to be praised by his parent and he was not able to do that, so he felt a little bit bad for himself. Why can't I? And it's a very good way, and you can say that the kind of gesture that his mother showed towards him, जैसे उसने उसे उड़ने की क्या कह सकते हैं इंस्पिरेशन दिया, that is the main part of the story. और जिस तरीके से ऑथर ने लायम को फ्लैट ने जिस तरीके से इस चैप्टर को एंड किया है, which is really really nice, and that is the reason I really like this chapter. मुझे बहुत पसंद है ये चैप्टर. कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स जो मैं आपको इसमें डिस्कस करूंगा इस चैप्टर में. ऑफ कोर्स आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस विद यू द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स लाइक important words, keywords which are going to be asked in the exam, some difficult words, few questions also I am going to give you so that you will be able to answer these and answer those questions, and you will be able to learn that something कुछ आप सीखेंगे. Okay, so like it's a, as I told you, it's a very motivational story. काफी motivational story आपको definitely पसंद आने वाली है. ठीक है, it's a life lesson, कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा. So that seagull bird is used as a symbol. Before starting this chapter, I think I have to do one thing. मुझे एक चीज आप लोगों के लिए करनी पड़ेगी. I would just request you all to remind your young days. Young days, of course, you people are still young, but your early stages, stage of life when you were trying to learn bicycle, riding bicycle. जब आप साइकिल चलाना सीख रहे थे, आप उन दिनों को याद करिए. Was it like that कि you learn by riding bicycle at once? No. We all definitely, if I take my example, so I have learned like this. My grandfather and my father was there who told me that you go on riding, I'm holding the bicycle from the back, but actually after few minutes they left. कुछ देर तक उन्होंने पकड़ा and then they left. But when they were holding, I was having enough confidence कि no, if anything will happen, my parent or my father or grandfather is holding the bicycle. But they did it in a different way. What they thought, this is not the way. इस तरीके से तो मैं कभी भी सीख नहीं पाऊंगा. I will always having this much of कह सकते हो वो safer side where I will not learn anything by my own. खुद से मैं सीख ही नहीं पाऊंगा. So after once and twice when I started a little bit, then what they did, initially they were holding, but the moment I paddled once or twice, एक दो पैडल मारता था तो they leave it, वो छोड़ देते थे. So by doing that, I felt twice and thrice. I got stitches and कई बार लग भी गया. But that was the case. वही एक reason था जिसकी वजह से I learned riding bicycle. Here also this bird, seagull bird, who was very much in fear of flying. उसे लगा कि मैं उड़ ही नहीं पा सकता. His parents also motivated in the same way. They did not just like did the spoon feeding, that picking the praise and fishes and giving it to him in the cage, so that मतलब वो उसको घर पे लाके नहीं दिए कि easily उसको खाने को मिल जाए. They decided to teach him a lesson. इसको सिखाया जाए कि he has those potentials, he has those resources. God has created him like us only. जैसे भगवान ने हमें बनाया है, इसे भी वैसे ही बनाया है. But he did not understand his own potential. इसे अपनी potential समझ में नहीं आ रही है. So the way they tried to teach the lesson, that is the most important part of this chapter. So few questions which definitely rises in our mind. Was he be able to fly? क्या वो उड़ना सीख पाया? Was he not able to that one, or did he succeed in his attempt? So we are definitely going to cover all those topics, so you are definitely going to like that. So now I will go on the book start करते हैं हम. I'll request you all, of course आपके screen पे video screen पे you'll be getting the paragraph and I'll be reading out and explaining you simultaneously. So let's start. Okay, so you can see on your video screen his first flight, उसकी पहली flight. Now let's see the first paragraph of the chapter. I'll be reading out line by line and I'll be explaining you. Just pay attention on that. The young seagull was alone in his ledge. His two brothers and sister had already flown away the day before. The seagull bird, who was very much alone in his ledge. Ledge means where you can say that a corner where generally birds try to hide themselves or they make their nest. घर जैसा समझ लीजिए कि he was sitting over there. वो बैठा था and he was very much worried also because his younger brothers and sisters, they have learned flying a day before. एक दिन पहले ही वो लोग सीख चुके थे how to fly. Had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them, but he was not able to join that courage. वो courage ही नहीं ला पा रहा था कि he can also fly. So he was not able to bring that courage in himself and he was very much afraid to fly with them. Somehow when he had taken a little run forward, but when he saw his brothers and sisters who were younger to him, who has very little, you can say that small feathers and small wings to fly, but then also they tried and they succeeded. So what he decided, I should also try. मैं भी try करता हूँ. So he just tried to run and try to fly. उसने कोशिश की. देखते हैं क्या what happened. He had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings. He became afraid. Now what happened? He was standing at the ledge which means that the word which is written here, brink of the ledge and attempted. Brink of the ledge means you can say that it's a corner of the mountain जहाँ पे birds बैठे होते हैं और mountains where you can see a long deep valley. So he just ran, आया वो वहाँ से. You can see the image in the chapter. आप chapter में image देख सकते हैं on next page, very next page, on page number I think next page, second page of the chapter. So when you see that you can see the ledge where the bird is, all the birds are flying and only one bird is standing. देखो एक है वो खड़ा है, बाकी के सब उड़ रहे हैं. So he is the one who is very afraid of flying. So the moment he came near to the ledge, जैसे ही वो पास में आया and he saw such a deep valley, he got afraid. उसके पैर फिर से पीछे चले गए. Then see what he said, what he felt, how the author is describing that. Ledge and attempted. Now, so the moment he came to the corner, or you can say that the edge of the mountain and just about to fly, जैसे ही वो उड़ने वाला था, he got the deep valley and the ocean. He got afraid and he took his leg back. Okay, attempt to flap his wing, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath. He saw a deep valley and only ocean, water, nothing else down beneath, and it was such a long way down. Then miles down, nothing was there down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. That is the reason he did not try, because he had that afraid that this valley is so much of down and only water is there. what would happen if my wings would not support me? I will definitely sink. मैं तो डूब जाऊंगा. So he took his leg back. पैर उसने पीछे ले लिया. See, look at the story. Next line. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge. He again get back to his, you can say that nest में जाके वो वापस बैठ गया. Where he slept at night, even when each of his brother and little sister, whose wings were far shorter than him, his younger brother and sister, whose wings were shorter to him, उससे छोटे थे, and their wings were very short, उससे छोटे थे, then too they learned, they fly, they flown away, उड़ गए वो, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, but he failed to muster up the courage to take up that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around. His father and mother, who were also guiding the small kids, his younger brother and sister, to fly, they also came. Now look it to the next page. Next page पे आते हैं. On your video screen, calling him shrilly. Calling him shrilly means come on quickly, you can also do it. You have already seen that when you are afraid of something like swimming के time पे हुआ होगा, when your friends are in the swimming pool and you are afraid of water, so they try to recall you, try to call you, just get in, we are there, you are means we are here, so you will not be able to be, there is no need to afraid, so तुमको टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. Upbraiding him, upbraiding means scolding actually, that you can see on the right side, scolding, but it is not actually the scolding, it's a way of motivating. You can say that कि generally we say that ना, you cannot do it, you cannot do it, come on do it, बैठा रहता है दिन भर, कुछ होता नहीं तेरे से, चलो जल्दी चलो, generally उस type में scolding. But here it means that they were trying to motivate him. वो actually उसको motivate कर रहे थे कि वो किसी तरीके से he just get those courage that is required to fly, and he also try to fly, because they were knowing that he can also do that. Even the younger brother and sister who are shorter to him can fly, why not he? But for a life of him he couldn't move, but he did not, because he was so much of afraid, he thought that I could not. Coming to the next para on your screen, that was 24 hours ago. One day passed. Since then nobody had come to near him. कोई उसके पास नहीं आया. He was alone in the ledge. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He saw that his parents, mother and father, both were motivating his brothers and sisters, trying to teach them on how to dive and catch the fish and again get back to the position. So they every way they were trying to motivate him. मतलब उसके friend, उसके जो brothers and sisters थे, they were motivating them. उनके parents उनको motivate कर रहे थे. They were teaching them. But he was just sitting in the ledge and watching. He was nothing doing. कुछ नहीं कर रहा था ये. Then what happened? He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring. Herring means fish. It's a fish, a small type of fish which is found in the sea. Generally these birds are very fond of these kinds of fishes. So he saw his younger brother catching his first prey. उसने अपनी पहली fish पकड़ी. And everybody praised. You remember the first time you practiced so much and you scored very nice marks which you have never expected, and then you all of a sudden you got that. So you can imagine the happiness that you must have felt at that time. So that was the situation when his brother got his first herring fish. His other brother and sisters and parents both were clapping for him, praising him. And he saw that now he had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it, standing on rock while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. Now what does it mean? It means that when his older brother caught his first prey, first herring fish उसने पकड़ी, तो everybody praised him. Even parents and other his family member, brother and sister, they all praised him. They were actually so much of proud on him. इतनी खुशी थी उनको, and they were clapping. Cackle means clapping. They were trying to just motivate him. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. What does it mean? His other family member, they were flying on the other side of the rock and they were sitting over there and trying to taunt him. Taunt in the way of motivating that we have come over here, you don't have to wait over here. Because of your fear you are over there. क्योंकि तुम इतने डरे हो, that is why you are there. You need to understand your potential and you need to come over there. They just want, by the way of taunting, they wanted to motivate him. They did not actually have that intention कि उसको real में taunt किया जाए या उसकी negativity पे focus किया जाए. They wanted to motivate him by this. Okay, now coming to the next para. The sun was now ascending the sky. It was now really becoming hot, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Now, what happened? He had not eaten anything almost more than 24 hours. He was in his ledge and his parents and brother, nobody came to ask. कोई पूछने नहीं आया. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge. Ledge के पास ही थोड़ा बाहर निकला, just trying to see his brothers and sisters and family members or parents. Maybe they were little bit cautious about him कि थोड़ा आए तो सही देखे कि whether I am alive or not. Standing on the ledge to the other ledge hidden, like one ledge means leg means एक ledge को बाहर रखे, just trying to look out कि कौन है. Under the wings, he closed one eye, then the other. एक eye first, his first one eye was closed and then second. उसकी एक एक करके आंखें जो है वो close हो गई. Now coming to the next para, and pretending to be falling. Oh, it's a very common. You must have seen the small kids. They are very much attention seeker. When they found, जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, when they found their mothers are not paying attention, their mother is not paying attention to him, अगर उनकी मम्मी उनको focus attention नहीं दे रही है, he is busy or she is busy in his own works, it's intentionally try to cry. Actually वो चिल्लाते हैं so that his or her mother जो होगी, that baby girl or boy's mother will definitely pay attention. मेरी मम्मी attention pay करेगी and she will definitely come. वो तुरंत दौड़ के आएगी. That's what this small bird also did. इसने भी वही attempt किया. He pretended to be like he fell off. Still they took no notice of him. But their parents were, we must accept that their parents were very courageous. So they did not turn up. Nobody came to see. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was praying the feathers on his white beak. Pink, which means that generally you might have seen the birds when they are sitting at a particular place with their beak, they try to clean their feathers. वो पीछे मुड़ के अपने feathers को clean करते हैं. And that's what his father was also doing. उसके father भी वही कर रहे थे. Only his mother was looking at him. माँ का दिल माँ का होता है, so mother was little bit tense about him. उसके लिए थोड़ी tension में थी, तो वो बिल्कुल she was looking at him कि वो है कहाँ पर. She was standing on the little high hump of the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again, every now and again, she was just trying to see whether he is there or not. She tore a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. When he saw that, oh yes, my mother is watching me and she is really tearing out a fish, and that is definitely for me. वो तो मेरे लिए ही ला रही होंगी. I was knowing that my mother can never see me in this situation, so is definitely going to come. वो जरूर आएगी. So he was maddened, means he became very, like you can imagine, since last 24 hours he had not eaten anything. कुछ खाया नहीं था उसने. तो जितना starvation हो सकता है, you can imagine that level. So he was very much in a hungry mood, so he became very happy. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again and waited. Ka ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him. मेरे पास लाओ, that I want it because I have not eaten everything since 24 hours. Some food. She screamed back diversely, but he kept calling plaintively. उसने वो चिल्लाता रहा कि mother, I want this one, please give it to me. And after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. उसने भी देखा that what happened, his mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying towards him. His eyes were lighted up. Oh yes, my mother is flying towards me with it. He leaned out. He leaned out, and what happened? Now, in today's video, we are going to study this much part. We have seen this much part over in the video where we have seen that how that seagull bird who was afraid of flying, how he pretended that he is fainted, and he wanted to get the attention of his family member, but nobody focused, and then the mother suddenly came. What do you think? क्या लगता है आपको? Was the mother going to give him? क्या वो माँ जो है उसे देने के लिए आ रही थी? Will she give him? क्या वो उसे देगी? Otherwise, did the bird try to learn something? कुछ उसने सीखा? Did he try to fly? उसने fly करने की कोशिश की या नहीं की? Definitely, you all will get this answer in the very next video. So your today's task, which I am going to give you, definitely on the screen, few questions are there. So मिलते हैं next video में. तब तक के लिए अपना ध्यान रखिए, आसपास साफ सफाई रखिए, एंड दोस्तों में मित्रता बनाए रखिए, ठीक है? और हाँ, अगर किसी भी तरीके से देश की कुछ अच्छा मदद करना चाहते हैं तो एक ही तरीका है, घरों में रहिए, सुरक्षित रहिए। बाय बाय, टेक केयर, लव यू।